Hey everybody, it's Keith Wheeler here with kwheelerbooks.com. No fancy intro this time. I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the dilemmas that you run into and challenges that you have when it comes to being a self-publisher. So I've got my book, Please Don't Beg, and it's for authors to show them how to get book reviews without begging and sounding desperate. Okay, so I'm working on the audiobook. I'm working with ACX to pick the perfect narrator for this book. I know it's a great dilemma to have, but I had over 20 narrators put in auditions. Extremely difficult to try to find the right person. So what I would say to you is, whether you know it or not, you have a sound in your head of what you think this book sounds like. Don't be stuck with that. You know, they're amazing people out there, and this is what they do. They're narrators. And so I was able to bring it down to probably the top 3 or 4. And then it got difficult because all 3 of them were completely different on how they did it. I did know I wanted a male voice, but other than that, they were completely different age ranges. I mean, one guy was clearly older. And so what I did was I sent them all a message, and I asked them, because when I do my audiobooks, I do it using royalty shares. And what that means briefly is we're going to split the profits 50-50 between the narrator and myself. And so what I did was I asked them what their platform is. Like, what are they going to do to try to help sell the audiobook? And it wasn't going to be like the absolute deal decider, but it just gave me a little bit more insight into them. And I got 3 completely different responses. One person said, I think it's completely up to the author to do all the promotion for the audiobook. I wasn't a big fan of that answer because it's a 50-50 split, which means you don't make money if I don't make money. So I expected the narrator to at least try. But he did a really, really good audition tape, so I couldn't strike him off, but it was definitely a questionable response. The other 2 had, again, completely different answers. One guy was very meticulous and gave me his numbers. This is how many I have on my email list. This is how many people I have, that look at my YouTube channel and everything else. And so I was like, okay. So I jotted that information down. And then there was this other guy. He was older. He was retired. And he said something in his initial email when he sent me the audio audition. And he had said that this would be his 126th audiobook if he worked with me. That tells me he knows what he's doing. He knows his stuff. And then in this email, he came back and he said that this is what his platform was, that he does trailers for books when he sees that there's sales being done. So now I got to decide between these 2 guys. Do I go with the one that's experienced? I mean, they're both experienced, but this guy has done 125 different audiobooks before me. Like, he knows his crap. Or do I go with the guy that's got bigger numbers? And I even went as far as I looked at their sites, because each of them gave me their website, and I looked at their sites to see which one had more, not necessarily more traffic, but which one looked newer and fresher, and did I think had the most potential. I have no idea. So I'm going to call guy A is the one who is experienced, and he's got 125 audiobooks that he's done before mine, and he does videos, trailers for the books if he thinks it's successful enough. Guy B is going to be the one who, he's younger. He did a great audition tape, and it sounded very natural. He also did the entire recording, the entire script that I gave. He recorded the whole thing, as opposed to the the guy A, he just did, the first snippet of it. He didn't actually do the full rendition. So that was the only reason. That was kind of one thing that knocked him down. But so he's a completely different sound. He sounds younger. He sounds more enthusiastic, and he's got numbers that back up his, how many he has on his email list and everything else. But he doesn't. I don't think, based on his age, or at least how young he looks, I don't think he's got as many as much experience as the other guy. So, which one do I go with? So I'm going to have you decide in my comments below. You're going to decide which guy I go with. Do I go with the experienced, or do I go with the young guy? So you decide. Leave the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe and hit the little bell icon so you get alerted each and every time I put out new content. So that's it. I mean, like I said, it's a good problem to have, but it's still a decision that self-publishers, you have to make. If you're going to put your book on audio, you got to make a decision. I've asked my family. They're sick and tired of me asking them questions like this. So I'm going to ask you, who should I pick? Till next time, remember to write right.